Time now for an in-depth look at the market action this afternoon, and for that I'm joined on the line by Dr. Kim Young-han, professor in the Department of Economics.
Influence in the global oil market has been quite limited after a long time kind of pressure and the sanctions. In addition, there has been relatively a kind of oversupply in the global oil market. In general, I would say yes, even with the increased uncertainties, the short-term response in general financial market and general global economy would not be that panic, say, response we can expect in short term, I would say.
Yeah, well, the reaction may have been limited, but oil prices are rising because of the Iran situation, and there are concerns that could hinder Korea's economic recovery. To what extent do you think that might happen?
Yes, definitely, you're right to say we cannot expect any positive kind of impact, definitely negative impact. And as you mentioned, the oil price has been already increasing. But still, as we discussed, the scale of the increase of the oil price is relatively lower in comparison to earlier shock, even in case of the Iranian attack on Saudi Arabian oil field in last year. The kind of jump of the oil price was much kind of higher than this time. So yes, even facing with those increasing uncertainties, I think we should not exaggerate the possible negative impact. And while, say, in general, global uncertainty might be increased, say, yes, Korean economy should be prepared for possible additional kind of uncertainty when this tension is aggravated with the expanded multilateral conflict with the other participating, other big powers participating in the tension. So unless those kind of aggravated situation really happens, I would say kind of Korean economy can respond with a pre-planned kind of scenario instead of taking a new emergency kind of plan for this time.
Well, shifting gears, we see the South Korean government's debt for the first time at more than 700 trillion won. That's about $600 billion. The deficit's at its highest since 2011. Where's all this debt coming from? And do you think it's anything to worry about?
Yes, I know that there is increasing concern about the increasing public debt. But when you look at the numbers in details, still the share of the public debt with respect to total GDP remains at 56.9. And when it simply kind of focus on government debt, the share remains at 40.1%, which is fourth lowest kind of percentage of debt burden among 33 OECD countries. So just look at the number, say, looking from the number, we need not to be that much worried. But still, I think you are right in terms of there is still some kind of shaky feels in the rapid increase of the public expenditure, especially somewhat unorganized and somewhat wasteful expenditure, especially in welfare expenditure, say, especially in terms of simply giving out money transfer to a certain age group, certain generation, regardless of their income level. Those kind of simple expenditure of the money in the unwise way might distort kind social incentive systems. So we can say, although number itself is not that variable kind of level, still we need to make more efforts to make those public expenditure more organized and efficiency in terms of providing correct and efficient social incentive systems.
Got it. Well, in other news, we see Samsung Electronics. It had its weakest operating profit in 4 years due to last year's downturn in the semiconductor market. But in the fourth quarter, the outlook turned rather positive. Is this going to be a good year for Samsung and other chip makers?
Well, in general, so we might say the general demand for semiconductor products will be increasing much at a higher level than last year, since the worldwide widespread application of the 5G equipment and almost artificial intelligence became a kind of must part of every industry. So considering those kind of rapid increase and expansion on the demands for those so-called fourth industrial revolution related kind of investment, we can say definitely there would be a sharp increase in the demand for semiconductor, and that would be a real good environment for Samsung's business environment.
All right, Dr. Kim, we'll have to leave it there for today. Thanks so much for coming on and sharing your insights. We appreciate it.
Thank you.